pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone, to the December 20th, 2023 Dyer Town Council meeting. May I have a roll call, please? Bob?
Here.
Mary?
Here.
Jenna?
Here.
Annette?
Here.
Mary? Here. Citizen input. And again, I want to reiterate that we're going to be, when you come up to have your citizen input, you will have 3 minutes. Please state your name and your address, and you will be given 3 minutes to state your position or your comments. And then we will have to move on to someone else. And if somebody has already made that point, please, we don't need to have it repeated. So I appreciate that. Your name and address. Do we have any citizen input? Seeing none. Citizen input. Citizen input. I'm seeking the approval of the consent agenda as presented, which includes the minutes of the November 15th, 2023 Town Council meeting. Claims totaling, and I don't have an amount on that. $4,452,402.61. Have a motion for approval.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob?
Aye.
Mary? Aye.
Jenna?
Aye.
Annette?
Aye.
Mary? Aye. Next, we have announcements. The town offices will be closed in observance of the following: Christmas holiday, December 25th and 26th, New Year's Day, January 1st, 2024, Martin Luther King Jr., January 15th, 2024, Clerk's Office end of the year closures, December 29th and January 2nd, Christmas Eve fireworks, Pheasant Hills Park at 7 p.m. Any questions, discussion? Moving on to reports for the town council. Councilman Starkey, do you have anything to report?
I just wanted to thank the crew and staff at Public Works for their continued work doing leaf pickup, putting up the new Christmas lights on the poles. They all look really good. Thanking the Parks Department and the Town Council and Dyer and Bloom for the great job they did with the tree lighting, despite the weather. That was a really good event. And wishing everyone a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Ward 2, Mary Tim.
In Pheasant Hills, many of you have seen the shade structure that's gone up. Justin and I have had a little fun with this because I said, I didn't know we were getting a giraffe. The shade structure is a little higher than we went. We're going to be changing it in the spring, but I'm still all for the giraffe. I think we should get the giraffe. But the shade structure will be coming down. So if you've gone past it and noticed, wow, that's really tall. And if you'd like the giraffe, we can have conversations. So we can talk about that. But I agree with the town looks beautiful. We're really excited about how everything looks. And just having conversations with people. I recently had a conversation with the owners of Anytime Fitness. And Nanette, you'll like this. They are pickleball experts. They are so excited that pickleball is coming to our town. And so we're hoping that really does. They own a company called Partly Sunny. And 10% of their proceeds, and it's all pickleball attire. I didn't know it was that much of a thing. It's pretty great. But 10% of their proceeds go to the mental health awareness of Northwest Indiana. Really great couple. I hope to have her here at one of our meetings or a park board meeting so you could get to know her. But it's really nice when we have these events and people come out and we can have conversations. So continue to have those conversations. And it's awesome to see you all here. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And Merry Christmas.
Ward 3, Councilman Ogrisevich.
I have nothing to report, but I just want to echo the sentiment of appreciation for all the town employees and departments and department heads who've been working extra hard for Christmas, decorating the town and making it look great. Hopefully there'll be some work for snow plows over Christmas.
No.
Or not.
Ward 4 is my ward. I just want to tell you that we have a person from Ward 4 who's looking at public art. And he's an artist from our particular area. He's been to the Dyer and Bloom meetings and he's talked to our town manager. And we're looking forward to see some of his creations so that we can bring more public art to Dyer. The second thing is this last week, there was a newly elected officials workshop given at Fair Oaks. And there were 160 people from the northern part of Indiana who are newly elected officials that wanted to find out how they can do the best job possible. It was really nice. There was so much conversation going on, a lot of questions, a lot of learning, and that's the opportunity. When you're newly elected to that position, you have so much to learn. And again, I keep saying it's like puzzle pieces being put together for a town to make a town run efficiently. And it was really inspiring to see so many people. I also wanted to say thank you to the police department. They did a great job because they were in our neighborhood last night and they really did an outstanding job. So the citizens were very grateful to you for that. And I do wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and really enjoy the polished look of Dyer because that's just what we're after. We work as a team to make sure that everybody enjoys the town, but we always wanted to look polished. So thank you very much for coming. And Ward 5, Annette?
I just want to say thanks to Chief Olcott for the officers around the neighborhood. It was nice to see that they were out there, especially at this time. There's so much going on. Also, how beautiful it looks with the lights. It looks really nice. They did ask for different ones though. You know, I was gonna get some feedback.
They always do.
So, but they did say how nice it looks. Also, the trees, I did explain to some of the residents, the trees on one side, how it's kind of a, you know, the area where we're trying to let them grow and we won't see that area. But they asked if it would go on the other side, so, I did say that we were gonna bring it up and discuss it, so hopefully it will. But other than that, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone on the board and the town. Doing a great job, Justin. Summerfest is coming up. Too quick, but it's gonna be a great event. Other than that, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Clerk Treasurer?
Yes, I'd like to thank the Dyer and Bloom and all the staff that helped out with the lighting ceremony. Everybody did a great job. Everybody liked it. They enjoyed it. There was even cookies left over, I think, that went to the police and fire department. So that was great. But the tree lighting, the staff puts a lot of work into it, especially Dave and Frank's staff. I'm during the day setting it all up. So thanks for that. Yes, we are closed on the 29th and 2nd. If you have any drops, you can put them in the white box. You can still call in. We're just changing over everything. Once we get our budget, Kathy's lucky. All the townships got their budget from DLGF. The towns are still waiting. Hopefully they drop tonight or tomorrow. And then we'll be busy doing that. But other than that, Merry Christmas. And we'll see you on the 28th. So we can say Happy New Year.
Town Manager?
Thank you. Just want to echo the very, very busy year-end process for government. On top of closing out finances, projects, employee time and everything. It's definitely a busy time of the year. A little background in everything that gets done. It's never a single person. It's always the team effort. Our department heads that are sitting out in front of you here, we meet weekly. And these are the times where the citizen input, council input, resident phone calls all come up. And it's literally a look around the table and get it done type atmosphere, and everybody jumps in. Literally the Christmas decorations were the most talked about for the past 2 weeks. And the process goes just to give you a little peek in the kitchen. Okay, let's get more Christmas decorations. Then someone looks in the funds and says, no, don't order any more Christmas decorations. We're at the end of the year. And then we look to Jeff and say, Jeff, we need to light up Calumet Avenue. We need it more. We need it more. So, you know, it makes it work. We were able to get some last minute orders of some colorful LEDs on Calumet Avenue that really made an impact. His crew responded as they always do. But that's a little bit how the department heads work together and literally make it work on the fly. There's not one that wouldn't jump in and do anything for everybody. And we feel it. We love the phone calls. We love the calls from the 6-year-old girl on Plum Creek Drive that said, I'd like to see the snowflakes up. Like to see the splash pad done. And then we also get the phone calls that says, you got the worst Christmas decorations in the area. What are you doing over there? So we like to balance it out. But the department heads are the ones to thank for all that. We're working on lease purchases. We're trying to get something put together for you for January. It's our routine squad cars and a couple public works vehicles in there. We'll hope to have something in front of you by January. Road work is wrapping up. Asphalt's got to be getting shut off here pretty soon if it isn't already. Our street projects have really come to conclusion on time, and it looks amazing. So can't say enough about that. Neil did want to pass on his sorrow that he's not here tonight with us, but he is off for the rest of the year. So he promised he'd be watching from home for us. And you mentioned trees. We did take a very aggressive tree approach with some funding available. Brian Lane has been very aggressive with grants and his input in the tree process. So we did commit to a lot of tree programs coming up. One of them was down Calumet Avenue that we talked about more in RDC. There's unfortunately some very badly placed utilities for our tree project. So we have other areas that we need to put those trees in. So your Calumet Avenue Bridge and that will get some in the near future. Everything else I have is for RDC. Thanks.
Okay, we want to bring up too, just to remind everybody, Christmas Eve fireworks will be at Pheasant Hills Park at 7 p.m. So that's another additional event that we have here in Dyer to even make it a better place to live.
I have one more. I'm sorry, I apologize too. As soon as you said that, if you have not read or heard, the NDOT has increased the CCMG grant from $1 million to $1.5 million. So
yes,
that is going to tremendously help small towns like us who get $1 million a year grant money from NDOT. We work. This is the time of year that's crunch time. We got to get all the paperwork in, because if you're not in good graces with the paperwork this year, we will not be able to apply for that next year. So we're working hard, and it looks like everything will be on track for us to receive 1.5 million instead of 1 million for next year. So
nice.
That's what gets a lot of the streets done.
Yes. County Attorney.
Most of what I had to tell you, I said in the study session already. There will be another contract for you to look after, but Justin will be presenting that in his report. One other thing, it just went on my radar a couple weeks ago. There's a case pending before the U.S. Supreme Court right now that could impact the operations, or more personal than anything. The question is whether social media accounts for public officials and public entities are protected by the First Amendment.
Exactly.
And whether you can block or delete comments or not. The Sixth and the Ninth Circuits came down on opposite sides of the issue, which is why it's before the Supreme Court now. In the Seventh Circuit, where we are, they haven't addressed the issue, so it's still an open question for us. But when that opinion comes down, probably with the dump that always happens in the late spring, we may need to adopt some policies to address that. So it's on my radar, and keep it on yours as well.
Yes.
That's all. And Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you. Department heads. Chief Alcott.
Good evening, everybody. The monthly report for November, we had 591 incidents, 33 arrests, 35 accidents, 274 citations, 521 warnings. If you're not aware, we just graduated our staff and command class that we sponsored for Northwestern Public Safety Administration, which is one of the most prestigious, one of the top 2 prestigious staff classes for law enforcement. We were happy to host it, and we will be hosting it again next year. Assistant Chief Stein and Commander Cook graduated from that class, and we have 2 people registered for next year. Officer Vandenberg also graduated from the academy. He was hired earlier in the year, did most of his FTO before he went to the academy, and he is on the streets as we speak now. We are moving forward with, we just received permission from the safety board to move forward with a replacement hire, and we have somebody going through the process who will be receiving a conditional offer with this week, so we can move forward in the process after the first of the year. As you spoke earlier, we have holiday patrols going on in the residential areas all the way up till Christmas during the day when people are away from home, so that we have officers checking for package thieves and people when packages are delivered to your house. So you'll see squad cars there during the day, both in the north and south, all the residential areas. And at night, you'll see holiday patrols throughout all the way through Christmas. If you haven't seen already, squad cars with their lights on at night within the Route 30 corridor business district and the Sheffield business district, and they travel back and forth, trying to keep traffic moving through, and also being a heavy presence for anybody that wants to take advantage of the overpopulated area at the time. And it assists in our patrol because we have an additional 4 people on the street during those hours. On top of that, with the influx of people coming in from all over with the Route 30 corridor being very heavily populated, and it gives us a higher presence also to help deter any type of crimes. So you will see people, so don't get shocked that you see lights on in the parking lots. It doesn't mean crime. It's more of, hey, we're here. Just so we show our presence. It's more of a deterrent than it is anything else. With that said, we're moving forward with, I've had some questions have come to me about the U-turns at Hart Street and Route 30 and Calumet and Route 30. I'll be putting in a request to have signs put up there from NDOT. We still have requests in. Town Manager Hein and myself have been working on the yellow turn-ins on the streets on 30 to try to alleviate some traffic. Again, we'll be probably have to sit down with NDOT somewhere in the near future to look at the traffic flow again. Because with the heavy hours and rush hours, the traffic we try to find different ways to control it with timing.
Right.
It is one of the biggest issues that we have in town is traffic during rush hour, morning and afternoon on weekdays, and also on the weekends because everybody's coming here to shop. So we are working with NDOT on that. Be patient, don't get upset on the traffic. It's just part of it. But for our businesses and everybody that lives here, they're coming through. We're a mega for the Indiana-Illinois border. So we are working on it. Hopefully we'll get some results, and Merry Christmas to everybody.
Thank you. Chief Martin, speaking of which, ran into a problem a couple of weeks ago because somebody was backing in the truck right at rush hour. And it held up traffic, and there were lines all the way down Route 30. And I thought, we're going to get blamed for this. And it really wasn't our fault. They were just backing in the truck.
Well, actually, I was there for that. And I was coming out of the station at the same time. What happened was an ambulance came through at the same time the fire truck was coming back from a call.
Okay.
So as you guys know, having the hospital in town does not help with our traffic. We get ambulances from both the state and everywhere in the area, and it messes up traffic at 30. But I happen to be in the same line. I was in the same line you were, but I was there when the ambulance came in, which threw off the lights to the turn lane. And at the same time, these guys were coming back from a call. And if we didn't have that light there, it would have been worse because people would have been driving up on top of the fire trucks. So if everybody that drives through towns, when the lights are red in front of the firehouse, it is still stopping.
Yes.
Some people kept driving through them and it caused an accident. But
You're right.
I just wanted everybody to know I addressed it. I think town manager and I immediately, we were getting calls immediately about it. But I just happened to be out in the parking lot when it all went through, and it was just a bad timing situation.
It was.
So,
but that's unfortunately going to happen.
Well, when we have the last hospital on the state line, those ambulances are coming quite frequently until they go to bypass.
Yes.
And about 95% of the time, both of our stations, no, you're fine. Both of the stations are pull-through stations.
Right.
Because you have to remember with our shifts have to do an hour, minimum of an hour of training each day. So you'll see out back of the station or inside the station, different props and things laid out for different drills. So it was probably the situation was they were probably had something laid out and got a call, and you don't put things away, you just go. So when you get back, you gotta get back in.
Thank you both. It was
the old
great.
school way.
All worked out.
Yeah, it was a mess for a few minutes.
Have anything else, Chief Martin?
Yes, for the month of November, we had 151 total calls for service. We logged 762 hours of training, continued our installs of all smoke and CO detectors. So by the end of the year, through all the grants we received, we'll have put about $13,000 worth of smoke and CO detectors in Dyer homes, far exceeding any other agency in all of Northwest Indiana. Installed and inspected multiple car seats and multiple fire code inspections throughout the town, but we also were in our LC schools again. We're trying to be in there more than just once or twice a year doing fire code inspections. We're trying to do it as often as possible to keep all of our kids safe. We participated in a food drive for the St. John Township Food Pantry with Anytime Fitness. They laid out boxes for all of the personal trainers and myself And my firefighters found out about it, so I ended up with the most food in the box, and I got to get it pie in the face for charity. So it was a nice day. I'm glad they found out about it. So well, I went to a good cause. And they dropped it all off to Kathy at some point, right? The girls from Anytime. So all of our 2023 annual employee evaluations are done, along with the 2024 goal objectives for each one of our personnel. I had the privilege on November 14th, I got to serve for principal as a daler at Kaler Middle School. And I found out we have a lot of wonderful children in this town, but I also would much rather be the fire chief 24 hours a day than middle school principal for a 6-hour period ever again. But I think it was a good recruiting tool as well to get some of those kids that are in the teenage years a little bit more interested in what our jobs entail and what we bring forth. We participated in a boot drive on November 11th on Veterans Day for the Disabled American Veterans chapter out of Hammond, and we're able to raise $2,231.20. I mentioned on November 27th, all of our departments came together collaboratively with the Canadian National Railways Dangerous Goods Officers for a tabletop exercise. We were approved to host Instructor 3 this coming January. That's going to begin the 30th of January. We have 6 of our members taking it. It'll take us up from 1 on the staff to 7 personnel with the certification. It's the highest level of certification you can get for fire instruction in the state. We onboarded 1 paid on-call firefighter, Ian Mizak, in November. He'll be starting the academy with Logan Stein in January 5th to be exact. Last night, we received approval from the safety board to hire 3 more part-time firefighters. We also had approval to start our merit-based rank lieutenant process for promotion at Station 18. That will begin after the first of the year. Operations Chief Hemrick and Captain Sartori completed their rope rescue operations and technician certification. And Deputy Chief Bonin, Operations Chief Hemrick, Captain Sartori, Lieutenant Stutler, and firefighters Boersma, Bonk, Golick, Minkema, and Morrison completed Fire Officer 2, taking our department from only 1 certified up to 9. And last night at the safety board, Logan Kwiatkowski received Probationary Firefighter of the Year, and our Joey Bonk received Firefighter of the Year for the year. So it's been a good year. So thank you for all your support from everyone.
Thank you. Public Works.
So we're finishing up 2023 tasks right now. We are starting to put all of our solid waste equipment away, chippers, leaf bags, getting those off clean up since we're now finished with the leaf removal and chipping and stuff like that. We're now in the process of changing out street signs. So again, we just updated the sign that's coming into Indiana from on 81st. That sign's been updated. Other signs that need to be replaced, such as no turn on red on 213th and Calvin Avenue. That's been
Good.
we actually now have 2 signs. We have one up at the signal and one at the actual pole to give more viewing possibilities for the drivers and stuff like that. So we're getting those all things done. We also completed our evaluations for all of our employees. So that's been completed. 2024, we're going to get the crosswalk equipment for the pedestrian crossing at Pheasants Mills Park installed. Should get that done in early January. Pavement marking projects for Calumet Avenue and 213th Street. We're going to start getting prices for those projects early, so we can get those to you guys, so we can get that approved to get going for next year. Let's see. Right-of-way mowing program. We're working on the specifications right now, and they're just about complete. Once we're done with that, we're going to work with the park department so we can put both specifications out for the mowing for the parks as well as the right-of-ways, and get those out to vendors so we can get those quotes. The water loss audit report, which is due every 2 years, that's due next year through the Indiana Finance Authority. So that report will be able to give us the idea of water coming in from Highland, our usage, and we'll see that water loss difference. So again, it should be relatively low because we've been doing a lot of measures to keep that water loss at a minimum. Not, this year we've actually had fewer main breaks than we've had in years. So again, I just, knock on wood. So, I guess it's the first time we've actually had single digits. So again, I'm proud to say that we've been doing a lot of work to try to make sure that that is minimized as much as possible. So we'll have that sometime, middle of the year, that final report. But that's all I have for right now.
Thank you. Justin, you have a lot on your agenda, I would imagine.
I guess, yeah. Well, the first thing Attorney Cedia mentioned, there is a contract next year package for Alpine Amusement. There was one revision concerning the length of the contract. I forwarded it to Attorney Cedia before I sent it to you this afternoon. And he can speak to what the language change was.
Sure. Let me just clarify first, this was the draft that was submitted to us. It's not how I would have drafted a contract. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use party of the first part and party of the second part outside of Groucho Marx. But here we have it, and it contains all the operative terms and spells out what the rights and responsibilities are. The one change we made is under the all caps remarks about 3/4 of the way down the first page. Originally, it was a 5-year term. That was changed at our request or at the park board's request to a 3-year term with an option to extend a further 2 years, so through 2028. As you can see, price of wristbands varies based on market conditions. Alpine will provide up to 17 rides, 6 to 8 kiddie rides, 4 to 6 major or family rides, and 2 to 3 spectacular rides. They will also provide up to 3 wristbands, and up to 100 free rides to participants in the bike parade. That's all spelled out. And then for our part, no other riding devices, shows, attractions, or concessions, except those furnished by Dyer itself or those agreed upon beforehand. Other than that, they're agreeing to provide uniformed attendance, foremen, festival grounds, coupons for ride admittance, and $1 million public liability certificate of insurance. I can, or Justin can answer any questions.
Adam, I know I talked to you after I talked to State Board of Accounts, because I attended one of the meetings. And when they talked about the wristbands, they don't want it in contract form. They just wanted it to be as a donation like we accepted the council meeting.
Well, they're providing the wristbands. It's just saying they're providing them. It's not saying that a percentage is.
Was it 100, up to 100 free rides giving to participations in the bike parade? To me, that's a donation.
Well, we can have it as a donation.
No, they don't want the donation in the contract. That would be separate, that he's doing it and he would have to do a monetary value to it and the council would accept it later.
Well, up to, they could say they're providing 0 and then provide it as a donation later.
Okay,
I mean, you can do it that way.
okay.
It's going to be changed again.
What?
So contract that would be.
It won't have to be changed.
Okay.
You can just say they're not providing any under the contract and they're providing
If
it
you
as
could send that to me in an
donations.
email form to
Yeah,
put this on the
absolutely.
paper trail for
Absolutely.
audit purposes.
So the only other thing I have regarding this contract is that on the December 12th park board meeting, it was given a favorable recommendation by the board to you guys, and it's ultimately
Subject to the revision that we made.
correct.
One thing that was good is last year, I remember that they were talking about not having any openings until September.
Mhm.
It'd be difficult to have a Summerfest in September.
That was if we decided to change the date. This keeps us in the
Yes,
weekend before Father's Day.
Right.
For the next 3 to 5 years, depending
Yes.
on our,
and we've let the other towns know that.
we have.
Hello. No, but that's always been a problem because of the other towns having theirs the same weekend.
Mm.
So. And ours was always better.
Naturally. So I guess right now I would be looking for a motion.
Yeah, I think Adam, would need a motion. Does it say who executes the contract? Is it council president, town manager?
It just.
It just says party of the second part, so it could be either the president or the town manager.
Okay.
If
However,
anybody wants to include that, if they make a motion.
yeah, a motion to approve the contract with instructions for whomever to execute on behalf of the town.
We have that motion.
We'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Who's going to execute? President or town manager?
Town manager.
Okay, add that to your.
Yes, I'll add that to my
Can I
motion.
have 3 copies besides mine, 2 other copies of the council to sign in? It's not in the packet. Thank you.
Right, we have a motion.
Motion in a second. Any discussion?
Wait, we don't have a second.
Don't we have a second? No?
I didn't say nothing
Oh,
yet,
I'm sorry.
but I could second.
Okay.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Aye.
Mary,
Hi.
Jenna, Annette, Mary.
Aye. Thank you. Anything else, Justin?
Yeah. So, projects, Cherry Hill and Elmer Miller Splash Pad, we are, Cherry Hill Park Improvement, Elmer Miller Splash Pad, we're same status as last month. Both are substantial completion with only one punch list item remaining, that is hairline fractures in the concrete. They're at both locations. The contractor, George's Landscaping, has agreed to address those issues in the spring, as well as assist with the startup of the splash pads for the 2024 season. This is gonna be formalized in a closeout agreement in the January park board meeting. The pavilion at Central Park, the structure is completed with electric. The remaining hardscape work has begun this week. It's slated to take about 4 weeks to complete pending weather. They're gonna fabricate some kind of visqueen contraption and get some heaters out there. As long as there's not a big snow event, then we won't, I foresee it being done within that 4 weeks. The berm at Central Park, I think it looks fantastic. They
Does.
finished fine grading today, and we have prices out to get it seed and blanketed here in the next week or so. The shade structure that Councilmember Tim mentioned, I had a meeting between the contractor and the supplier to determine if the footings were sufficient for their warranty. We had two options. If they weren't sufficient, we would remove the footings, pour new footings, have them lower and bury the poles, so it's a more reasonable height of about 10 feet. But if the footings are sufficient, it's more cost effective for us to order new posts. If they are, the rep believes they're sufficient. I'm just waiting for the official go ahead from their structural team, and then we will order the 10-foot posts if that is the case.
So probably no giraffe. Okay, no, okay.
I'm not gonna say no. That's all for projects. I just want to give a brief breakdown of the 2024 projects. And we have pickleball courts at Hearthstone Park and Everly Park. We're set bid opening in March, letter proceed in April, construction beginning in May. Sandy Ridge Playground Park Improvement with April bid opening, letter to proceed in May, construction to begin in June. That is mainly I wanted to stagger them, but also the lead time in the equipment kind of dictated that the equipment is slated to be delivered at the end of May for Sandy Ridge. Those two projects will take approximately 80% of the 23 bond budget. So, and then with the remainder being used for fees and general maintenance, for the bond fees and general maintenance. Activities are all wrapped up for 23, and we're ready to hit the ground running for 24. Winter Spring Leisuregram available online with the hard copy that gets mailed to every Dyer resident, I believe St. John resident, set to go out in the next week or so. Our ice rink is set up at Field 4 at Central Park, which is the southwest field. The ice is not ready for skating quite yet. You'll be notifying residents through the text alerts, Facebook posts, and both marquees, whether the rink is open that day. Skating hours from dawn till about 8 p.m. We'll use the ball field lights to illuminate it at night. Rules for the rink are currently posted throughout every entrance into the field. And we would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. And that's all for my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
I have one question. And I've beat this horse a couple times at the park board meeting. Your comprehensive master plan states that heritage estates would be done in summer of 23. I realize their estimated dates. It doesn't sound like it's on your current agenda for 24.
Yeah.
Do we have a time when we can tell residents that may be worked on?
It is not in the 24 budget. If I had to guess, I would say 25, unless the board decides to go in a different direction for 25.
I just want to make one comment on the record that this has nothing to do with our park director, that we did increase the park bond by 50% this year with the expectation that 3 projects would get done. And it looks like we're only doing 2. So as we all encounter residents wondering why more isn't getting done, I think that's something that we can direct them back to the park board. Again, there was a 50% increase, going from $1 million to $1.5 million. And it doesn't look like we're following our comprehensive plan. So I would make a suggestion to the park board to either follow their comprehensive plan or make a new one. That would be my own thought with that.
Was there anything ordered for heritage at all?
No,
Nothing was ordered?
No.
So we have. I'll just keep going with, so we have 2 pickleball courts. On the agenda. One at a park that has no parking. On-street parking only. And we find, and the park board finds that to be a better use of money than a neighborhood park that. Was 1, now possibly 2 years out of date. And was installed more than 23 years ago. It was rhetorical. My guess is that that's the plan.
As far as I know.
Okay. Thank you.
And I think I saw a budget where that park would be worked on, 1 pickleball. And the other park worked, and it would have really been sufficient enough as far as the money that was given. But now Heritage is gonna be backed off to maybe 24, 5, but all next year, it's not gonna be. I thought I was under the impression that parts were ordered. We had one of the residents from Heritage here at the last meeting talking about how bad it looks, you know. And then I was under the impression that parts were ordered. So I mean, it's just, doesn't look good when you promise them something that it's gonna be worked on and it's not, so. That's my biggest concern.
Right, we will just have
We'll
to
have to.
I was under the.
work on the
impression
finances of that later.
Heritage was going to be done this year as well.
Thank you, Justin.
That's all. Thank you for your hard work. I appreciate it.
Director of Operations.
Code
Brian?
enforcement had 10 citations. They had 1 for trash and 9 for junk vehicles. 824-213, that's the house next to the old fire station that we purchased. If you went by it anytime today, that we just fenced it off. NIPSCO has disconnected the electric. Tomorrow Public Works will be doing the water, and we're just waiting on the gas. The machine's out there, so it should be coming down. We've had a lot of good training out of it. I know the fire department and police department both got to use that house a lot and said that they got some really good training out of it. So that was nice to see. The corner of 213th and Sheffield, that's all backfilled now. If you've seen, we got protection around the inlets there, so when it rains, that dirt doesn't fall into the inlets. And Public Works has seeded the whole place, so in the spring it should pop pretty quick, right away. One thing I wanted to bring up was 726 Joliet Street. If you know where that's at, that's where the subway is, Boomtown Fireworks is. Behind there for years, we've been dealing with, there was like 17 storage containers full of fireworks. We've been talking to Marilyn O'Connor for a long time, and they are all gone. So she has removed them all. So if you get a chance, go back. It's really nice. I know the residents of Sand Ridge Courtyards have been coming in for years and wanting to get those removed. So I think that's a good thing that those were moved out of there. One thing that's going to be coming here soon, the Storm Board made an agreement with the Maryville Stormwater Utility to bring their Marsh Master out, and a Marsh Master is like a train. It's got tracks like a tank, but it looks like a boat, and it's going to go into Briar Crossing Pond, and it's going to cut all the cattails down, and it'll chop them up to real little. And then Briarwood Estates Pond, which is behind the Dunkin' Donuts back there on Route 30. That's another pond we're going to look to try to get in there and clean it up with this Marsh Master. If you ever go to YouTube and type in Marsh Master, you can see it work. It's pretty neat. And so that should be coming soon. Since Neil couldn't make, I just want to mention the streets, Magnolia, Madison, and 214th. As Dave said, they're looking great. And we had done a Public Works walks through and does a punch list. The other day we got an email saying all those punch list items are taken care of.
Good.
So we're just kind of double looking at those punch list items to make sure everything's good. And then Meadowbrook, the subdivision that's coming in south of 81st off of Sheffield. The cones are all out of Sheffield now. Everything's been paved. And they still got some more utility work to go, and then they'll be coming in for secondary plat to build homes. So that should be coming soon. And then I just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. It was pretty neat to see Dyer on TV last night for the light show at that house on Capri. There was a lot of comments, a lot of people talking about it. So I thought that was good for the town.
Totally agree with you, Brian. I think Dyer has been lit up. When you drive
Oh,
through
yeah.
all of Dyer, I've never seen so many
There's quite a
Christmas
few lights.
decorations. It's just beautiful. You might be able to see us with an airplane, you know?
I was gonna say, if you could get a drone out there over the whole, yeah, that would be kind of fun to.
And I don't know, they may have done this, but I saw in Highland where people could submit if they were doing Christmas
Ah.
lights and then they put a list out. Said, hey, these are the lists, and then they did prizes for like, different categories they
Right.
did. Yeah, so that's something to look, maybe that would get more people even,
The town plan.
Did she win?
That group does it.
okay,
Did
town
you win?
planner.
Someone decorated the house in Highland.
3 years in a row.
They won? Good job.
The spirit.
Okay, we have no road projects other than what Brian has said, and we have $1.5 million. CCMG,
Yes, so next year, we're working on Harrison Avenue,
right,
and Frank can talk more to that.
Yeah, working on Harrison Avenue, we're developing an additional list for resurfacing as well, in addition to the reconstruction on Harrison Avenue. So obviously have an additional $500,000, which with our match will be an additional $1 million. That list will obviously be expanded with this new information. So we're currently working on that. And we're going to kick off the new year with, I think, another great year of getting road work accomplished here, just like this past year we've done. So,
right. It was nice at the Fair Oaks Farms workshop, they announced the $1.5 million. There was such a loud applause for that. It was really nice. And of course, I got right on and I texted the town manager and Neil and everybody else that I knew. But Neil already knew it, but it was such good news. It really helps us out with our road projects. So thank you. Next, we have ordinances and resolutions. The first one is ordinance number 2023-33, the amendment to the salary ordinance. We have a motion to approve ordinance number 2023-33, amendment to the salary ordinance 2023-31.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? You have a roll call, please?
Bob,
Aye.
Mary. Hi. Jenna,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules and approve ordinance number 2023-33, amendment to the salary ordinance 2023-31?
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Mary. Hi. Jenna,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. We have resolution 2023-32 approving a contract for fire services for the unincorporated St. John Township for the year 2024. Have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Mary. Hi. Jenna,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Resolution
And I just want to say
2023-33.
thank you.
Oh,
And thank you to the fire department too.
You're
So
welcome.
thanks.
Approving a 4-year renewal of solid waste removal and Republic. We have a motion to approve 2023-33.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mary. I mean, Bob, sorry.
Aye.
Mary. Hi. Jenna,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Next, we have resolution 2023-34, 2024 schedule of town meetings, town council meetings. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Mary. Hi. Jenna,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Resolution 2023-35 transfer of funds. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Mary. Hi. Jenna,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Resolution 2023-36 adopting provisions for the employee manual. Do you have a motion to approve?
This was talked about being tabled at the study session.
You can have a motion to approve or to table, whoever wants to.
That's
make
why I was
a
just
motion.
bringing it up.
I'll make a motion to table resolution 2023-36 to the 12/28 meeting.
You have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Mary,
Hi.
Jenna,
Aye.
Annette,
Hi.
Mary.
Aye. New business, BZA recommendations, use.
Before we get started
Okay,
with these,
yeah.
I'd just like to point out. The public hearing for these was at the BZA meeting.
Yeah.
So what is before the council is not a public hearing.
Right.
There will be no comment on these. The chance to comment was at the beginning of the meeting. So what we'll just have is a motion, a second, and then discussion only among council members, just
Correct.
so we're clear. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Use petition for 2029-1237 Sheffield Avenue. Do we have a motion to approve the use petition?
It's motorcycle place, right?
Correct.
Make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Just if I could interject, this is a use variance rather than a use exception. So I just, again, this was before the BZA, just want to recite for everyone what the standard is to consider. There are 5 factors under statute. That's Indiana Code 36-7-4-918.4. Number 1, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. Number 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. Number 3, the need for the variance arises from a condition peculiar to the property involved. Number 4, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will constitute an unnecessary hardship if applied to the property. And number 5, the approval does not interfere substantially with the comprehensive plan.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Mary,
Hi.
Annette. Aye. Jenna. Aye. Mary.
Aye. Next, we have use petition for 811 Joliet Street. And this was, we've been given a favorable recommendation from the BZA. We have a motion to approve petition for 811 Joliet Street.
I will make a motion to approve the petition for 811 Joliet Street with the added change of an expiration of December 31st, 2024. That will give us time for an annual review and to recertify either by us or BZA.
Well, which one? You guys are the BZA.
I would say us. To review.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and also I would motion to go over.
Well, we have a motion.
Okay, so
You have to second and you can amend it during discussion.
that's good.
Okay.
We have a second.
I will second.
Any discussion?
If you look in your packets as well, Director of Operations Lane, it included the pictures, if you had not seen them, of the aerial. And the letter from his office.
And just to emphasize, your prior petition was for a use variance. That is, it wasn't allowed as a use, and you're asking to create a use that's non-conforming to approve. This is what's called a special use, in that it's allowed under the zoning code, but only with permission from first the BZA and then by statute from you. So it's in essence pre-allowed with permission, and statute allows you to impose any conditions on that approval, similar to the BZA.
So we can have conditions on this as far as a year to review it as well. And I know that the board, we do have some questions in regards to this. I was at the BZA. The questions that we asked was, or that I have is, where would the smoker be? Is the smoker gonna be inside the trailer smoking the meat, or is it gonna be out of the trailer?
Smoker is inside the trailer.
So there will be no smoke, I smell with the smoke, so there will be no smoker outside of the trailer?
No.
Okay, there's only one trailer gonna be there, there's not gonna be multiple?
Well, I'm approved to have two, but I will only have one. The other one will just do catering to other businesses, to businesses.
Cause I thought I was under the impression that it'd be just one,
Just one trailer there.
For smoking. And a second one for deliveries.
I will just have one trailer there. That one there.
and there won't be any selling of meat or anything in the back of it, out of the truck?
I have a building. That
No,
building
I'm
is
just
to
saying,
sell.
you know, with the truck in the
Yeah.
back
No,
selling food
no,
as well.
no.
We have a motion with an expiration date of 2024, and we have a second.
And this is to review it, right, and as long as everything is under. The rules or the ordinances and everything, then. Especially, right, and, I mean, Adam, if you wanna explain too, as far as the year.
I mean, so you can phrase this a number of ways. You can grant it subject to annual review, or you can grant it for a year, subject to review and renewal by the council. It's my understanding that's what the motion was. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're all for new business and expanding, but it's just, there's been a lot of talk about it, but. Yeah,
I think this motion moves the ball forward with everyone, allows a business to come to Dyer and to start, and allows anyone with any apprehensions on the business model. It allows everybody time to move forward and go from there.
Just one other thing, by statute, the approval has to be in writing, so at your next meeting, you'll get something
Okay.
to sign off on like we
Perfect.
do at the BZA.
So we have a motion to approve with an expiration, and we have a second. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Mary,
hi,
Jenna,
Aye.
Annette,
hi.
Mary.
Aye.
Yes.
Next, we have board and commission appointments. I am seeking an approval of all the president, board and commission people that are serving presently, and I'd like to add Patrick Tortorici, if he's at all amenable to the storm board.
I'll make a motion to keep all the boards and commissions current the way they are and add Patrick to the VC.
I'll second that. Any discussion?
Wait a minute, what now? For the board, you found a motion to keep everyone the same, is that what it is?
Correct. And add Patrick Tortorici to the storm board.
Which he doesn't know. Right?
No, but with his approval.
But you can always decline the appointment.
I'd like to make a motion. Can I also make a motion?
Well, wait, we have
Or
a
do we
motion and a
have
motion and a
second.
second?
Okay.
If there's discussion, then we gotta take a vote on this.
Okay, go ahead.
Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
The first motion.
Make a motion to approve all the present board and commissions with the addition of,
The chair was this. It's a second.
Okay. Bob,
No.
Mary,
Aye.
Jenna,
No.
Annette,
No,
Mary.
aye.
I'd like to make a motion for the following. To appoint Scott Jefferson to the BZA. Cherie True to the Park Board. Bill Howe to the Plan Commission. Keith Woods to the Safety Board. Patrick Portorini, to the Storm Board. Frank Jackson to the Utility Board. Eric Brunsma to the Safety Board. And that would be my motion.
I will second that motion.
You have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
What about Lake County Convention? Where are we?
Pardon me?
That's not on for
Oh,
tonight.
it's not on. Okay, this looks like the sheet, so I should ask you. Okay.
Hearing none, roll call.
Bob,
Aye.
Mary,
Nay.
Jenna,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Mary.
No. Next, we have the false alarm fee reduction request from 601 Sheffield. We've been looking at this request for fee reduction.
Yeah. Yeah, we made the presentation in the study session. The council can either take action.
Yeah, no one needs to make a motion if nobody wants to do anything.
Okay,
I would call for a motion twice, and if you don't have one, just move on to the next item.
I have a motion. Hearing none. They hear a motion for adjournment.
Can we do any and all?
Any and all? Motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Have a second.
Aye.
Annette, did you have something? Yes.
Sheffield Estates has been a problem simply because we only had $1 million to spend this year, last year, and we received generously from the council money for Central Park. But because of what had gone on with, unfortunately, Flat Pad, which took us forever, which we acknowledge, I mean, it was a mess, but it cost us $500,000 in the mess. And so we had to proceed with what we had. When we received the $1.5 million, first of all, we're very grateful for the fact that Dave found us the better deal on removing the giant hill. So we saved money there. But when we discussed what we wanted to do moving forward, we desperately wanted to put in 2 pickleball courts and finish the 1 Cherry Hill playground. But with the extra $500,000, there's nothing saying that we won't be able to squeeze in Heritage Estates. It's all really based on how much the other things cost. The playground at Sandy Ridge, we've purchased the materials for it. It's going to be gorgeous. And we found out 2 years ago, when we replaced the park at Pheasant Hills, that we would be able to replace the mulch with a pour-in place. And so what we're hoping to be able to do this year is get that pour-in place at Pheasant Hills so that it'll be much nicer for everybody that plays there. And then we will proceed to examine the things at Heritage Estates. What we had given for bids last year on pickleball courts was way out of line from what we've heard from other people. And so we're hoping we'll be able to achieve more with that extra $500,000. Just so that you understand, it's not that we've neglected Heritage Estates. That particular schedule of events was set up approximately 5 years ago. And we've already made a few little adjustments simply because we moved the splash pad up and things like that. So we're not neglecting anyone. The park board would love to have anyone make us recommendations. We're constantly looking into new things. I'm researching boundless playgrounds because there are grants for them. So that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any and all? Motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to the Dyer Redevelopment Commission meeting. Done the roll call, citizen input. Do we have any citizen input? Hearing none. We need a motion for the consent, for approval of the consent agenda, which includes the minutes of the November 15th, 2023 Redevelopment Commission meeting. Claims totaling $138,726.46.
So moved.
Have a second? Second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not hear the motion. Oh, the consent agenda. Okay, aye. Aye.
Aye. Next, we have project updates. Town
Yes.
manager,
Rather than listing them, Frank and I thought we'd take you through a little slideshow of pictures so you guys can see the accomplishments over the year that you guys have all been a vital part of. These are all projects that were RDC assisted, either through RDC or TIF or both. First one is just the beautiful end result of the Century Garden and Gold Star Memorial. This will blossom into even more amazing than it is currently today. The mural that you guys are all well aware of, the hard work that you guys have put in for it. Power lines that are hopefully be out of there one day.
I had talked to Nick about getting that map straight.
Yeah. The flag that you can see from Calumet Avenue. What? New one up. This pavilion is at Central Park as well, obviously by the word Central Park. This is what Justin reported should be done probably within the next 3 to 4 weeks and done and finished out. It will definitely be a welcome addition to the park that you can have different events under there, smaller events, community markets can even take home there. I see many town activities starting under this pavilion. Operations director reported this is the excavator that's ready to take that house down in a matter of probably a couple hours. And as soon as all clears are there, that house will be down. It is our intention as an RDC to smooth that out and probably ask you if you want us to put a nice sign on the corner that says for sale / lease, bring the right development. I've gotten a phone call from the neighboring property owner that says if we go to market that, we can also add his property to the billboard that says this land is also available. It's to the south of this property, so it'd be a decent chunk if there was any interest in that. This is the dirt hill that was mentioned a couple times. Justin and I met out on site this morning. I can't tell you that once you step on property there, you start to feel that it is intended to look that way, and very much a part of the park than rather than just a dirt hill there. And 213th and Sheffield, what a welcome site of black dirt and seed. It makes that corner look 10 times better just by doing that, and I can only imagine what it's going to look like in the near future. Thanks to PD. Trevor O'Donnell is always willing to fly the drone under chief's orders whenever we need some project like this. And we thought since Gettler is going to be on one of your project lists coming up, we wanted to kind of give you a bird's eye view of really what's going on with Gettler here. If you can see, Gettler has just become a parking lot of park wherever you can, not where there's lines or blacktop or anything. This is definitely a problem for that area, and it's all hospital workers at this point. So it kind of smothers some of the local traffic that would go to the 2 businesses located on that street. We've had some great meetings with the hospital, the new CEO. We want to show these pictures. These pictures were very important. So when we sit down with them to kind of show them that we need to work together. When this street is done, it's going to add 18 parking spaces, but that's going to be nothing to really take on what needs to be done. Our hope is that he becomes aggressive with the need to put some parking over there, and we kind of redesign what the parking lot may look like. 2 things, it'll increase parking, but it'll also beautify that area. We've met with VFW, we met with Windmill, we met with the owner of Windmill property. There's 2 different people, and we've met with the hospital, and we've informed them of what road construction will look like. We've also opened a line of communication to say that we want to make sure your businesses have access during this construction. And they're all very excited to see what this corner will look like in the near future. They are open to a mural on the windmill.
good.
For the windmill, which was a first step. And the owner of the building is also open to a mural on the north side of the building that says, "Welcome to Dyer," if we'd like to do something like that. As you know, we own the green space just to the right side of the aerial of the windmill, where the cursor's at right now. That is town-owned property along with the lot to the left. This is part of that proposal that we're trying to seek from MKSK to give us some conceptual work of what John Burge can look like with that connection over to town hall property and kind of cut off the congested dangerous intersection that we have at Schulte Street right now. We will probably have a proposal next RDC that'll have some work that they could do for us that'll need some approvals. But since it's kind of a year-end wrap-up, we thought we'd throw you some pictures.
Nice.
Kind of show you what you guys have done and just kind of lay it out that we're still moving forward, full steam ahead.
Is Windmill going to commission someone to do that?
They are open to having the players that took care of ours sit down and talk to them and discuss whatever would take place.
There we go.
So
Yeah.
we talked about maybe putting their logo on there, but we'd be nice to maybe also incorporate Dyer, Indiana up in the corner.
Yes.
Because as they brand their product that they sell, they also stamp it's a Dyer, Indiana product. So definitely open to it. And they're open to long-term commitment to the town as far as business operations,
Yeah.
even what an outdoor little venue would look like on our property if we were to possibly either sell the land or purpose it as a green space.
Nice.
Yes, very positive talks.
Yes.
The hospital is still gonna continue with. As a hospital or is it, because there was word that in Munster, the hospital there is adding on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going
So,
vertical.
you know, I think if anybody's in business or commercial in this area, they realize that when community buys something, Franciscan buys something, then community buys something, then Franciscan, they kind of keep jockeying around. In our conversations, and I'll keep them just to a basic level. I don't want to be a spokesperson for their operations, but they are committed to the town of Dyer. Every property they acquire, even the new facilities that they're putting in St. John, will be feeder to this large hospital for procedures and other kind of appointments. So it's not like any of the properties they're acquiring are to eliminate what we currently have. It's more to be a feeder system to the larger facility that's in Dyer.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you guys for all the hard work.
Any and all? Motion for adjournment?